Dave here, how are you? I'm hoping everything's coming through sound, picture, all of that kind of stuff. I'm doing the show again from the side here, so we're going to be doing an assembly of a melamine drawer and a few other things during the show. It's been an interesting morning. It's been very cold, and I know in the Northern Hemisphere in some parts you're going through a bit of a heat wave. There you go. Quick read. This time of the year is good to have some Tim Tams. Janice Latecomers, head for the corner. Good in New York. Excellent. Thank you very much for that. All right, so today is the 30th of June 2019, the last day of the financial year for Australia, and also it's the last day of the sale of the Stanton bench. So I'm doing a 10% off. If you want one and you're in Australia, send me an order today. I've put a link in the comments section below. I'm talking about the comments section. We have had a little bit of a chat about it. Now, maybe just because I'm the administrator of the show, I can see all of that. You guys might have to wait until after the show to see the recording to add comments. Now, last week I asked you to put comments in, and the week before I did as well. It is so appreciated. You know, it's these little bean counters in the back of Google. They look for comments, they look for thumbs up. So if you can give me a thumbs up if you like the show, you don't have to do it straight at the beginning. If you reckon it's crap, well, you know, don't do it. Or if you think it's rubbish. Vicky's been saying I've been a little bit loose with the tongue lately, so I'm going to try and tame that back a little bit as well. Okay, so let me go through what's happening on the show today. Pocket hole and assemble a melamine drawer. Now, this is not the way that a lot of people do it. This is my way. It works for me. They are extremely strong, the way that I do it. So if I'm doing it and it offends you, I'm sorry. What can I say? We're going to fit drawer fronts to hide all of the pocket hole joinery, and that's a little thing that some people have been kind of confused with. So I'll take you through all that. When the job is finished, you would swear that it's come out of a really elite joinery shop. Fit the handles as well. I'm going to show you a jig, and also we'll just do the way that, you know, not this kind of a jig. A little jig for putting the handles on, but I'm not going to be using that jig. I'll be using another system. Tune a new splinter guard on the guide rail from the saw. So I'm going to show you how to do that with two splinter guards, or sorry, with two tracks. And it's a really, really easy thing to do. You join them together, and then you do your plunge, run it past the join, take them apart, and you do it the other end as well. It's a no-brainer, and it stops you pushing the splinter guard off as you do your first initial plunge, because you may not have turned the saw on or whatever. Anyway, it's the way that it works. All right, the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to zap down there. I hope everyone's been well. You know, it was rude of me not to say that at the beginning. I hope everyone's had a good week, and things are cruising along well for you, even if it is hot. For a lot of you guys there, you know, we wouldn't mind a little bit of warmth here. You know, we say that you always want, the grass is greener, you always want what other people have. What do? We're never happy, are we? We're never happy. A bit of coffee, and then we're going to go down to the end and start the pocket holing. I must make sure that I've got my remote. Here we go. Now, this is hooked up to a few different things around the workshop. What we've got here is, I'm saying hi to everyone down the side there as well, if I haven't said hello. And I've got the cameras set on fixed focus, so they're not hunting. So if I come back a little bit, I may start to go out of focus. If I come too close, I might start to go out of focus. But I'm pretty sure I've got the one for the pocket hole machine. I've also got Carl Cam up here set. Now, this guy here runs my dust extractor, and it runs the compressor outside and some lights above the garage door. So it's one of these little things that I've shown everyone how to do. And 100 degrees in Arizona, AZ, is that Arizona? New Jersey, 95. I hope you're talking Fahrenheit. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to go down the end, switch this other camera around, and I think I've got a camera where I've got everything in it. Let's have a look. I do. I'll move that one. I'm going to shrink it down a little bit. Bear with me, bear with me. There we go. I'm going to switch her over now. What do you think? See little me in the corner and the pocket hole machine down there. I'm going to turn the compressor on. Hear it? It's outside, thank heavens. And down to the pocket hole machine. I won't be able to see the chat or watch whatever's happening up here while I'm down there. I just presume that you can see what's happening. All right, now one of the things, I don't know what you can see here, so I'm going to get down here like, Mr. Walk, the plane. Okay, so this stuff here, I haven't been using it, and I should, because melamine, once you cut it, is extremely sharp on the edges. It's a hard surface. When you cut it, it is sharp. And I did cut myself just there, just running my hand along the edge to pick it up. I cut myself. So this stuff here, I'm going to put on because I've had a little bit of left lying around. It's a kind of a sports tape. And I put it on that finger, and I'm going to put it on the other finger here. I'm not going to tell you who makes it, because otherwise people will say, I bought it. No. If you want to buy some, buy some. So there you go. Those two fingers are the ones that are, these are the outriggers. They're the ones that are going to cop it. If you wanted to, you could put them right across your hand, but it's that first joint there, and it hurts. I'll tell you that for nothing. Now down the back here, I've also got the dust extraction hooked up. So I wait for the compressor to finish running, and like an idiot, I forgot to pull the air line out. So you can see me in the corner doing that now. This machine runs on compressed air. So that's why the compressor's running. You can get an electric ones. There we go, it's all plugged in. I'm going to wait for the compressor to stop. Coming back into the picture now before I start the dust extractor up. Now also, I was given a bit of a hard time about how many pocket holes I put in things. In panels, okay, she's full now. In panels, you do it 2 inches in from the end, and then every 6 inches is where you put another pocket hole. This is according to Craig. If it's just timber joinery, you know, it's every 8 inches, I think, but in panels, it's every 6 inches. So I'm not horribly accurate with it, but I'll show you how I do it. So I'll flip her over, because that's the side that I've chosen to have the pocket holes in. For good or for bad. I'll turn the dusty on. Can you hear it sucking from here? So I've got a hose running in, and it comes up directly under that drill there. I've set the stops to around about 2 inches in from the edges. I'll move this one back out a little. About there. All right, hear that when it's closed up? Okay, all good. I go to the end, and that's around 6 inches from there to there, 150 millimeters. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my finger there, slide it up, easy. About 2 inches from the end. And so that's what I've got. They may be just a little bit more than 6 inches, but you know, it's pretty close. It's very easy. And this table unit that I made, this area here out the side, is invaluable. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go center on that one. So I'm looking at either side thinking I've got about the middle. It's not, you don't have to be deadly accurate. There you go, very little bit closer. Now this is the drawer bottom. I'll come back a little. last one. Come around the other side. Okay, that's fully done. Turn that down. I'm going to take this down the other end, and then I'm going to bring that camera down here as well. I'll turn the compressor off. I'll disconnect that air hose and move that out of the way so it's not going to bug us. I really should run the airline around this workshop properly. I'll switch the cameras back to this end for the moment. And transition. All right, I'll move this off here. And that off there. As I say, the first thing I'm going to do is make this drawer, and then I've left the drawers that are on the machine, on the cabinet already. I've left them at different stages because I thought you might like to see how I do it, without taking too long to do it. What are we doing? It's only just gone 10 past or just after 10 past, so it's going well. That knife out of the way. Keyboard. And those guys. And I'm going to bring the other camera up here as well. So that it's ready for the next part. Actually, that might work all right just there. That could be okay. Oh, got my foot caught in it. Don't disconnect. I'll be in trouble. It has been suggested I get a cameraman, but I don't think so. Let's have a look, see if that's going to work all right. Yep. Yes, it will. Let's transition back to that one now. All right, Stephen, Matthew, put bayonets at arm's length and unplug the curly when not in use. I don't know what the conversation there is. All right, so I get a couple of clamps. It's a very, very easy way to do this. A couple of clamps. I've shown everyone how to do this before, but for people that haven't watched the channel much, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn, there's the panel with all the pocket holes in it. I'm going to turn that upside down and put it on top of the clamps. Very easy so far. I'll tip this up a little to about there. You might be able to see me if I do that, only just. All right, that's fine. Bring it back a little to about there. All right, near the end and near the end. Then I've got all the sides, front and back, already done. Now, the thing with this is, these are the sides, so I'll label them as I'm going along so I don't get confused. And this is the front and the back. Yep, okay, so I put them with the pocket holes facing out. Pocket holes facing up, pocket holes facing out. Like so. And the pocket holes facing out, so I turn that around that way. And these are exactly the same length as the bottom of the drawer. This is nearly 17 millimeters thick. This is an extremely strong drawer base. I can put heavy things in here easily and they're not going to go anywhere. Now, I need to pull them back ever so slightly from the end Otherwise I've got the pocket holes covered. Let's pull back to about, and I need to be able to get access with the drill, so I'll pull it back a little bit further. In line, in line, pull her up. So you notice the ends, the sides aren't on yet. They're going to go on here, but they're not there yet. So I need to tap that along. Done. Now that's flush. That was easy, wasn't it? Okay, now I can give that a bit of stick, and then the other end as well. That'll be fine. I don't need to pull it all the way up because I'm going to do the bottom first. With the bottom connected like that, I'll show you. All right. There you go. Now I'm going to flip the whole thing upside down. So I have all of these pocket holes ready to put screws in. Let's do it. Now I'm using 1.25 inch, and I'm going to make sure that I've got the Craig driver here as well. I do. So I'm using 1.25 inch course, and we're pretty good there, pretty good there. Let's put one in here, and I'm setting the thing to around about 7 on the little CXS. Done. It's so easy. Done. When I've got these, and when I've got these near the clamp and those near the clamp screwed, I can take the clamp off and move the clamp along to another position to finish it off. It's just such an easy way of making a drawer. And that's annoying. That's right over the pocket hole. I'm going to slide it back and lift it up. That's good. Because I'm doing the show, I'm not going around the other side. Ordinarily I would have gone over there and just snuck it off. Done. All right. Now I can take them off and switch them around and do that. They're screwed there, and one about there. Now before I go crazy with it, I now stand her up. Whoop, come get back on there. Stand her up again and give her a little bit of a tap to make sure I'm aligned correctly. That's good. Come down slowly, and now I give it to it. Good. Well, David, I used to think so, and I used to do all my stuff 32 millimeters, so I would allow 2 lots of 16, and I found that it was out. So I started going to 17. So I do 34, sometimes I do 33.5 for a double section, and it works. So now whether that's because I've got a crappy tape, a bad tape I should say, sorry Vicky, yep. All right, nearly there. But this is such an easy system. I haven't got to do any slots for the drawer bottoms to slide into. It's strong. It is super strong. And this is on the bottom of the drawer. No one sees it. Done, done, done. Needs one there. All done, all done, all done, all done. Okay, that's all of that side done. These guys can hop over there for the moment. Now, the next part, spin her around, get the longer clamps. And what have we got there? That one's facing out that way. Make sure it's up the right way. Otherwise, it'll be ugly. Along that way a little. Now, they can be pipe clamps, whatever you want to use, doesn't really matter. The great thing with parallel clamps is you can use them like that. And I can put this one at this end. I'm going to go to Carl Cam. Why not? There we go. I don't know what the hell you're talking about there, Stone Cold Coffee. I don't know. Did I make any comment that I was going to be using a drill? Done. Done, done, done. Alrighty. I think that Craig recommend using a 5/8, sorry, a 1-inch course in this situation. I found this is probably a little bit better, a little bit more bite going 1 1/4 inch, but I've also set my jig up to work that. You can adjust a little bit if you want to. Okay. And I'll do the other end. Switch cameras back to the main camera. And take it to there. Corey has just finished making one. Have you got the Craig right angle clamps? No, I don't use them. I find that I get a better response, or a better result, I should say, with parallel clamps or pipe clamps. You know, these work fine. Very happy with them. In a second, I will be screwing the sides together. Done. Going good. That's good there. That's all good there. It's quick. It's quick. That's why I love it. That's where you would have been using the right angle clamp, Alan. I was accused last week, well, not accused, it was suggested to me last week that I possibly did too much in the show. So I'm going to try and focus on just this kind of stuff at the moment with this show, and we're doing well. It's 25 past the hour. What I'm doing at the moment is I'm checking that the tops are in line. Where are we? I'm putting the lot. This is the last 2 screws, the last corner. Done. 1 drawer built. Basically, it's a tray. It's all these things are a tray. And we're going to put a front on it in a minute. Now, that is the front of the drawer. Pocket holes. They're going to get hidden by the drawer front. Goes right on the top. The good thing about using pocket holes like that is the side of my drawer, there is no fixings visible. You will not see. I've seen people put screws through there, and that looks bloody horrible. Anyway, now I can take that off. Like so. There's another one on the side there. I'll whip that off. One on the back. The labels work really, really well. If you've got around 40 or 50 pieces stacked up everywhere, it's so much easier if they're labeled. It's just a little bit of masking tape and we're there. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I'll leave this up here, but I'll get rid of these 2 clamps because I'm still going to use the assembly table. Drink some coffee. All right. I'll bring this other little camera down here now because this is going to be where the focus is going to be. Well, the focus, the interest. Where are we? Second camera with chat. There we go. So down here, I'll drop down here so you can see what I'm talking about. These are the 3 different drawers that I've got to different stages. We've just finished building one. This one down here is a 300 deep, which is fantastic with the drawer front on and also the handle. Now how I do the first drawer front is I use spring clamps. I put a spring clamp over there, another one at this end, and then I can move the drawer around, the front around, and get it perfectly in position before any of the other drawers are in. I take each drawer out before I put the front on. So these work very well. Once I've got it in the right position, I like to have the top of the drawer and also the top of the front flat. I don't like lipped up. On the top one we have to, but you know, the rest of them I like them all flat. A bit of an overhang either side so it carries. Once I've got them in the right position, I'll hit them with a more substantial clamp that I'll lock on like so, and then I'll screw through the drawer into the front. And again, I use the 1¼ pocket hole screws again. The reason being they're a self-tapper and they work brilliantly. So that's that drawer. Soft close. Aren't they magic? I love soft close. This drawer here, I've got the front on, but I haven't put the handle on it yet. So we'll do that next. Now, what have I got in here? Pliers. Yeah. The handles that I'm using are these guys. Now these are super wide, and I'll give you a tip. The shorter ones, same company, the shorter ones were around about $9 a pair. The long ones were $6 a pair, and I think because no one wants them. No one was buying them. So I grabbed a truckload of them. Well, when I say a truckload, 3 packs. Yeah, that's a bit sad, isn't it? Anyway, so what we do now is we have a look at the drawer, and we say, right, I need to snap it off. I'm going to snap it off at. Yeah, I think I'm take the second last off. There's some little slots along here on these little metal threads, and it's just a matter of pliers on it, give it to it. There you go, it's snapped off, it's gone. All right, so there's that one. I'll put the screw in from the back. And a screwdriver. Correct, correct. All right, so we're going to put these in. And the other one. With the pliers, when you're cutting stuff with the pliers, the further down you come on the jaws, the more leverage you have. So it's easy to, don't try and cut it off at the top of the jaws, because you'll have very little power transferred through. That's that one. And that one. Right, there we go. 2 drawers, 2 handles. Next thing I want to do is I want to put a drawer front on here. So how I do that? 2 20-cent pieces. Soft close, I'll let that shut. Now I have also labelled all of the bases of these drawer fronts that I've made. This is European Beech, and I've hit it with 2 coats of Liberon finishing oil, and then I rubbed it down hard with 4O steel wool to get rid of the gloss, and it turned it into a satin. And it works brilliantly. I'm very impressed. Now, that's the drawer front, and it's too high. See that? I'm too high. So what I want to do is I want a gap between there and there. So I will put a 20-cent piece on there and a 20-cent piece on down there. That's the way it's got to be. So what I'm going to do is I can't end for end it, because if I'm running out of parallel only by a little bit, it will show. So I'm going to turn the drawer front back, and I've got rear written on there, and I'm going to sit it on the 20-cent pieces. Either end, make sure it's flush. Now, I've got my 1/2 millimeter clutch pencil. I'm going to pull the drawer back, put a mark, and the drawer back here, and put a mark. And those 2 points that I've marked there are where I'm going to take it down to. I'm going to run it over the jointer, and then we should be right, just put it straight on. So let me switch the cameras around again to there for the moment. I'll take this camera back to where it was, and you can watch in a second what happens on the jointer over there. Switch the cameras again. Where are we? There you go. So there's the jointer over there, and the dust extraction. It's down there, and I better take this one with me. And I've got some eye muffs down here, and we've got that one there. I'll turn this one off and this one on. Turn the dust extraction on. Open this one up. Good. Remember, put it all the way back out over your head, down, and then pull back. Easy. I'm going to go just over 1 millimeter thick. And I think that's about there. Getting there. Two more passes and we should be there. I've just brought it up to about 1 millimeter instead of, sorry, just under 1 millimeter, possibly 3/4 of a mil. That's beautiful. Whilst I have it there, I'll use my little block plane. Just to take the sharp off, both sides. Beautiful. Getting there, we're getting there. All right, going to test it. I'll do a quick test and then I'll bring the other camera back up if it's right. Oh, beautiful. That makes me happy. Now, if you haven't got a jointer, you could do a hand plane. That's still, you know, the principle's the same. We're planing some stuff off. Da, 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 and transition. There you go. Correct, time, but on occasions end up slightly thicker. Okay, John was going to answer a couple of questions regarding the resolution on the cameras. So John, if you could do that for me, that'd be wonderful. This is good. Now the good thing, as I say, about these, they hold it in position. I can take it off the coins. I'm going to sneak that one up just a touch. So now these clamps have held it this way for me. So now, before I give it any hard work, I put these ones on. So, as I say, the other ones are basically a floating clamp. I can take those off now. All right, now, what did I say about the pocket hole screws? They can go straight in and they will hold it very well. It's an idea to put the screw on top of the actual job to get a visual, to make sure that it's not going to go through. I'll put this in and we'll go all the way on that. Move that out of the way. Put that one up there. Gotcha. And we'll do one up the end as well. I'll back it off so we've got the clutch just starting to activate at 12. It'd be embarrassing if I went right through at the moment. Gotcha. And another one there, and then we'll do the other end, and we'll mark the handle. And take that clamp off there and use it down here. Laptop was in the way. Gotcha. One at the top. Gotcha. All right. That's not going to go anywhere. Let's see how it looks. I'm pretty happy with that. Pretty happy with that. Now, I'm going to put the handle in. Now, I did mention that there is a jig. There's this thing here that you can use. This is just a Craig jig. It's got a couple of hardened steel guides and also a stop on the back and a couple of cushions there. So ordinarily, you would sit it on the front to whatever depth you needed to, and it's metric and imperial, but you know, that's how it works. Then you just drill through with a 4.5mm drill. And that's fine if the handle you've got is limited to the width that's on there, but mine are a whole lot wider. So I have to do it a different way where I just measure the draw front, which is just on 1200. I'll push it back in. So I'm going to come in 600, and I'm coming down a little bit more. There's two ways I could do it. I could work to the center and then work out, or I could work using the template that comes with them, and it tells me that they're 320mm between the holes. So if I was to go 600 less 150, 160mm, that would do it, I think. So 600 in, less 160. I can write that on a piece of paper up here. I'll put on this. 440. So that would bring me in to the center of the hole. And I'm doing it in pencil so I don't destroy anything. And I think I'm coming down 52mm, but I set the combination square up for the heights. So this distance to there is the height that I'm at. That's great. And then it's 320 across from there. So I'll go to 100 and then come across 420. And then down the same height from the draw front. And hit it with another square just to get the intersection of those two holes perfect. Drill a hole. Now I'm using this drill, which turns at 3,900 RPM. I'm making sure there's nothing in behind there. If you get a bit of blowout at the back, it's not that crucial, just as long as it's not a big piece. The reason being, the screws are a washer head and they will cover it. As I say, it can't be a lot. And it's best to drill from the front. The reason being, if you drill from the back, you may get at a bit of an angle, and then instead of wherever it is, where have I put the rotten handles? Lost them. There it is. Instead of sitting nice, it might sit a bit like that, you know. I'm exaggerating, but you see what I mean. All right, now I need to snap these off. One, two, and screwdriver. By hand to start. But there it is. Keep losing things. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Doesn't look too bad. What do you reckon? Okay, I'm going to drop the camera down lower. So whilst I do that, I'll switch to another camera. Yep. I'll do a quick read. Now, I didn't realize when I was designing this cabinet that what I'd done subconsciously was I designed it to go in under the CNC, because the other cabinet I already had. Whoop, I haven't even changed the camera around, you idiot, David. No, I had. There you go. I'm losing it. Switch this again to there. Okay. You can see it a little bit easier now. When I designed this one, the purpose of it was to hold the little laptop on top here, some drill bits and things, or cutters for the CNC. I had this area underneath. I didn't want to just make a table. I thought, fill it up with storage, and I'm going to put stuff in there that's got nothing to do with the machine. And this panel here is European Beech. These are pretty cheap from Bunnings. I could have done it with just melamine fronts. And it cost me possibly another $40 to go with these and the top, so it was a no-brainer. And then I realized that everything out there, all the other cabinets I've got for the garage, have got a timber top on them. And so that worked. And the handles blend in so well with the 40-80, which are the legs and the base for the CNC. And I've even put on the end, move that coin out, on the end, I get another one here, and this is for me to pull it back out from under the CNC. And on the top, I've made these handles. See, this piece of timber wasn't there. I built the cabinet, and I thought, you know, there's a couple of things. I wanted to, just checking the time, I wanted to make sure that I could move this around from the front, because when I'm setting the touch plate with the X, Y, and Z axis on the machine, I like to move this cabinet around a little bit, and I move it out of the way when I start the machine up, because I'm not that confident with it yet. So I cut a piece and I glued it on, put it on the CNC, and I made these handles. And didn't it do a magic job? And the one other great thing about it, this comes out past all of these handles. And you might go, well, yeah, good. The great thing about that is when I'm sliding this machine back under the CNC, there's no chance of any of these handles hitting one of the legs and bumping the machine and throwing it out of its setting. So it was a bit tinny, but that's how it's worked. Now, the last thing we're going to do is I'll put the locks on, and I've got, where are we? These are the drawer slides. Now, on the drawer slides, I don't know if you can see, let's see what's happening here. I'll move the camera around a little bit further to there. On the side of them, there's a little lever. I'll use the non-blue finger. Lift that up, and let's just slide that part straight out. Now, I'm going to drill these to 6mm. Why am I doing that? Because I like using Euro screws. I don't like the little wood screws. They don't get as much of a grip. We're working on shear strength, shearing at the moment. So I've got the Euro screws into the cabinet, and for all those people who are telling me it should be a 5mm screw, 4mm works just fine for the size of Euro screws I'm using. I was looking around for a VIX bit that had a larger diameter to be able to go to 4 or 5, but I couldn't find any during the week. And I'm fine using my little drill here, which is a 4mm brad point down the center here. So what I need to do next is see if I've got my glasses. Of course they are there. And see if I've got the drill bit in here. I thought I'd throw everything in this cupboard ready to go. But, where is it? 6mm. What have I got over here? It might actually be in a drill already. It's not there. It might be in the other drill. I'll grab another drill. There it is. Okay. So, 6mm. And if I drill from the inside, it works better. No. Yeah, no, that's fine. Drill from the outside, it's... I don't get the burr sticking up. And this one... Done. Give it a bit of a shake off. And now I can put that back in. Magic. The other one. Done. And in. Right, next thing is I use a couple of packers. So I've got one here. Where's the other one? I thought I had two here. So I'm going to slide that into there. And where's another one? Give me a sec, I'll grab another packer. This is how I actually put the drawer in. Like so. And the drawer goes in. Sitting on those packers. What have I got in there? I've got something sitting in there getting in the way. That's all right. Give me a second. I'm going to pull these back out again. Things are going to fall everywhere, but that's okay. I'm going to pull the slides out ever so slightly. As I said, this is the way that I do it. Other people are going to do it a whole lot different, and good on them. There, and there. This way I don't have to buy any fancy jigs. Pull it to there, pull it to there. Now I've got the drawer aligned at the front here. I'll pull this back a little and tip it down so you can see where I'm going. I like using Euro screws. That would be ideal for you, Stephen. I'm not keeping up with the conversation. And you know what? I'm hoping the Euro screw... I'm hoping I haven't got the Euro screws in there. I bet you I have. Well, look, it doesn't matter. I'm going to drill these holes first. I'm only going in around 10mm. So I'm not using a drill stop. I'm using experience. Beautiful. Okay, just the one in there. Euro screws, David. I've got some more here. No, I haven't. Ah, dear. I've got some more down the back. Give me a sec. Give me a second. 5-2. And I know who won. I know who won. So it was an Australian competition. So there's the Euro screws. And if you're curious as to what size David uses, that's what I use. Easy. All right. I'll take it back to around 7 on the clutch. Come on, you can do it. Got it? Oh, I love them. Love them, love them, love them. And I love this method. It works so easily. It's just so easy. Got it. See, they're 4mm holes, and they go in perfectly. I don't know why everyone's giving me a hard time. Done. Pull her out further. Pull that one back. Keep some support there. Where's the other drill, David? Over there, of course it is. I'll do the other side while I'm over there. Yeah, so in Australia, if you live in New South Wales, that's where the winner is. And if you've recently been in hospital, the winner has also just recently been in hospital. And if your name is Stephen, spelt with a PH, I can take that out now, bring this all the way out to the end, and then there's one last hole in there. Done. That's that side finished. How good is this? So easy. That drawer was just some components at the beginning of the show, remember? Like, this is so easy. Cheap to build. They are cheap. Pull that out. Let's see if it works. It's hitting something in there. So what we do now is I can release the whole drawer like so, pull it out like so, down, and what will we be hitting? Ah, of course it was that. Put this drawer back in, slide that back, slide that back. Stephen Wallbank, you're the winner, buddy. You have now got a set of pack scrapers and a Veritas tri-burnisher. I'll get Carbotech to pop those in the mail for you when I see them tomorrow. Let's see if that works. What do you reckon? Did you enjoy the show, guys? Like, that is so quick. This unit, I'll show you on the next show where it lives, and I'll put the last front on because I'm on a I was going to say on a promise, but I should say I have promised that to Vicky that I'd finish the show right on the time today. So now I've got to pick all those Euro screws up because I was rushing. I'll go back to the other camera. I didn't even get to drink my coffee. Back to this one. Do you like the look of the cabinet, guys? What do you reckon? Did you enjoy the show? Thank you very much. Good, you like the cabinet as well. It wasn't expensive. The whole thing is pocket hole joinery. You can see from the side. You might see the drawer there. Nope. Well, I tried. You can't see any of the joinery when the drawer is finished. All finished. Yeah, it's so easy. All right. Check my run sheet. I did have some stuff here from Bob Macker, but I'm not going to have time to read it today, Bob. Bob's picked up an air shield, not an air shield, a little trend respirator. And also he's picked up a nice smoke shave or a smoothing plane. But, what do we do here? We're going through it all. I didn't get to do the splinter guard either, but I told you about how I'm going to do it, so I'll do that next week. Which, oh geez, 12:01, I've run over. We pocket hole assembled a full melamine drawer. We fit the drawer fronts to hide the joinery. We fit the handles. I showed you how to do that. We didn't tune the new splinter guard onto the guide rail. Support the channel through Patreon and the Amazon links below if you can. It really does help a lot. Someone purchased something during the week or using the link to get a Rotex. Thank you so much. It's little things like that. If you can pick it up through Amazon, it helps the channel big time. Thank you so much. It really does mean a lot. If you like the show, if you can give me a thumbs up, as I say, it goes into the metrics, and Google says, yeah, well, you know, we'll make this a little bit more popular if there's thumbs up. So that's just one of the things of it. Leave a comment, please, please, please. Leave a comment after the show's finished. If you guys can't do it during the show, you know, I still want to test that a little bit, but if you can't do it during the show, please come back, leave a comment for me. Just let me know if you enjoyed the show, a thumbs up, and keep subscribing to the channel. Keep coming back. Look after yourselves, and I really do have to scoot, otherwise I'm going to be in big trouble. Let me see, where are we? This one here. Thank you so much for watching. Look after yourselves, be nice to each other, and I shall see you next week. Bye.